What's up, man? All right. What up, y'all? What up, y'all? How y'all doing today? What's up, my man 24? And how y'all doing out there, man? As I wait a few more guests, man, you know we're gonna get to it, man. Boxing Talk Monday. It's what we do, man. How y'all doing this weekend? We got a few things to get to. I'm sure everybody. If you did see the fight this weekend, because I know one of the hottest topics out there, of course, is the fight from this Saturday when we saw, you know, the DMV's own Gary Russell Jr. They lost his title to Mark Magsayo, and is, you know, what up, man? What up, man? Tell me what y'all think of the fight, man. I'm gonna hear what y'all gotta say first. Tell me what y'all think of the fight, man. Because I mean, it's one of boxing hottest topics. It's buzzing right now, man. What y'all think about the fight? How you think he looked? You know what I mean? Of course, I know everybody want to talk about the actual injury itself because it was kind of disclosed before the fight started that he was injured. And, you know, many people giving their opinions and thoughts on that right there. But all in all, man, listen, man. Yeah. That's true. Like, man, listen, we got nothing to be, should have called it off. It's a lot that play into that, y'all. You know what I mean? You know, of course, that was one of the biggest criticisms all day yesterday. I was in, you know, I'm new to the whole clubhouse and some of these other things that's on social media. So I'm new to Clubhouse and all these things like that. So, you know, I was on Clubhouse yesterday and that was like the number one thing. He should have called it off. Why would he do that? You know, the certain things they were saying like, oh, you rob. Listen, let me tell you that, y'all, man. You don't know what's going on in the mind or the life of a fighter. So the question, you know, whether you should do it, whether you should not do it, you know what I mean? Because then when people call it off, then they say, oh, he's scared, he this, that, and the third. He in a no-win situation. He's never going to win in the court of public opinion. He's never going to win that. You know what I'm saying? He's not going to win. He's not going to win in that situation. So here's the thing. He had a lot going on outside the ring. No question. You know what I mean? A lot that he's been dealing with since he's last been in the ring. The powers that be trying to push Gary out, blackball. That's loaded too. You know what I mean? And I don't really want to do too much. Like, I mean, you know, y'all know because of my personal relationship with those guys, certain things I can't really touch or get into. You know what I mean? I mean, we want to make sure it's hot, but he has been blackballed. But I mean, and some of it is on that side, but it's a lot. Like I said, it's a lot. He deals with a lot outside the ring. He's been dealing with a lot. And then definitely with the health of his father and things like that. He just had a lot going on. So, man, in some cases, man, when you got a lot going on in your life and your personals, man, sometimes, you know, sometimes in your personal life, like you may have a lot going on, but whatever your thing is that keeps it therapeutic for you. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? They was always talking bad about him, so who cares what people think? That's facts. But you know what, though, man? A lot of times, man, you know, like I say, when people got a lot of stuff going on, sometimes doing what you do is your therapy. You know what I mean? Being in the ring is his therapy, is what's therapeutic for him. You know what I mean? So, you know, injured or not, he may just say, man, you know, let me just do what I do because this is what I love to do. And this is my way. This is my way of dealing with all the other stuff I got going on in my life. So I'm not going to question his reason for taking the fight and still doing it. I'm just going to say, I think there's a lot of anguish on this fight, but I expect he'll get a rematch and we will win. Well, I always got to send you an email, man. I'm going to send it to you, but you got the link already. But, I mean, it's a lot. But I mean, I'm you know me, that's the first thing I said. I ain't want to come in the group with it right off the bat. But my motto right now is hashtag run it back. Run it back. Run it back. I want them to run it back, man. You know what I mean? Hashtag run it back. I just sent it to you again. Hashtag run it back. Let's see him do it again. Let's see him do it again. Let's see him do it again. But now the question comes down to y'all and me is: do you think they're gonna? You think they're gonna run? You think they're gonna give him a rematch? You know what I mean? Or are they gonna run around? I'm never felt so sure of a rematch outcome. Yeah, I feel. I mean, no doubt, no doubt. I think if we get a rematch, anything 90% healthy, he gets this dude. He might even get the dude out of there. But the question now, James, is are they going to give him a rematch? Are they going to run and give this dude a couple soft, Yeah. So, I mean, but the question is, I mean, I want him to run it back. He'll run it back. Will they run it back? That's the $64 million question. Will they run it back? Y'all know how this game goes. They'll run him out here to this dude, that dude, give him a couple tomato cans, build him up a little bit more, man. He might be running like a traveler. He may run like an athlete forever, but I swear, I hope they put the pressure on him. I mean, because I'm definitely sure it's a fight that we'll definitely tune in to, and it'd be good to get Gary back in the ring 6 months from now, or depending on whether or not he got to get surgery or not. And that's going to play big. That's going to loom big. That's going to loom big, whether or not he got to get surgery or not. You know what I mean? If he got to get surgery, then that'll loom big. What up, Basement Boxman Talk?
What's good with you? What's good?
We talking about the first topic at hand, the Gary Russell fight. You know what I mean? What you think of the fight, and definitely, yes. What's your thoughts on the fight?
Oh man, I was kind of disappointed that Gary Russell came in injured, bro. After I sit back and think about the fight, man, I sit back and think about it. When he said he injured his shoulder 2 weeks before the fight, it had me thinking. And I'm like, man, I know he ain't fought in almost 2 years. It could have been like, maybe some financial, some shit or whatever. But I would have rather for him pulled out of the fight. And if they had to strip you for the belt for inactivity or whatever,
I'm not buying that. Not buying that.
You ain't buying that. You ain't buying that from me.
I'm not buying that they would have stripped him. I'm not buying that.
No, I'm saying if they would have, I would have. Listen to this, man. I respect that he went out like a warrior. I do that. But I would have preferred for him, by me being a Gary Russell fan, I would have preferred for him to have pulled out of the fight, said that you were hurt, pulled out of the fight, and fought on fair ground. For one, you was the longest reigning champion. That means something, bro. And we the same color, bro. That means something. A black champion for 5 years, bro. Ain't nobody else did it. And to lose your belt only because of an injury, because clearly, for real, if you think about it, he beat the guy up with one hand, for real. I mean, the fight could have been a draw. I couldn't see him losing the belt. And I would have just preferred for it have been on equal fighting grounds, bro. And if it was on equal fighting ground, I know Gary Russell would not have lost the fight. So now he lost the fight due to an injury, clearly an injury. And now we got a lot of people talking a whole lot of bullshit, man.
I don't see it that way though. Here's the thing. Go ahead.
You don't feel what way?
Here's the thing. One thing for sure. Nobody in the sport of boxing, except for the haters or the tank fans that came out to say something about him, or the Devin Haney fans that said something about him. No disrespect to them, but nobody's looking down at Gary Russell today. Everybody realized nobody's looking down upon him today. Everybody's saying, look, man, that man went out there injured, showed true grit, fought to the end against a puncher. Keep that in mind. The dude in the ring is a banger.
Hey, listen to this. I don't know if it was bad coaching or what, bro. But if the guy fought a good fight, especially in the beginning of the fight, but towards the end of the fight, bro, he was missing. A lot of that shit was missing. Gary Russell showed me one thing, bro. That nigga, I think he got the best footwork in boxing. Because for him to have one arm, and I'm talking about he wasn't even getting hit, bro. He was sitting, he sat down, ducked, move up. I said, God damn. Yeah. He and then I'm gonna tell you this too. Talking to a few people, hey, and I think they right, bro. It might be hard for Gary Russell to get a fight now. It might be hard because motherfuckers gonna say, like, man, shit, that motherfucker beat a motherfucker with one hand. One arm. And then that's another thing too, man. Why when this motherfucker knew he was hurt? Why didn't he start punching Gary Russell in that arm and shit?
Because see, here's the thing. Here's the thing about all that. Dude, see, Freddie Roach over there wasn't stupid. Freddie Roach said, all right, man, Gary the better fighter. He's the better fighter. He got the better tools in the shed. All I want you to do is just do enough to get these wins. Don't try to get that man out of there and lay around and let him catch you with that left hook he been setting you up for. We're not going to go for that. We're just going to do what we got to do, woo these little fans over, and try to steal this belt. Freddie Roach not stupid, bro. Because if that dude would have put on the gas, Gary would have caught him. Because listen to me.
He clipped him a couple times.
He clipped him a couple times coming in later in the round. So, I mean, listen. All I'm saying to everybody, hashtag run it back. Make the motto on your Twitter, on whatever you got going on, hashtag run it back. Hashtag run it back. But real quick, though, let me speed up on something. This merch I got on was sent to me by no other than Gary Antuanne Russell. And what's potent also about that is we found out that night, and it's been made public, that Gary Antuanne Russell on February 26th will be fighting Viktor Postol. So it ain't all bad news, y'all. It ain't all bad news. Let me tell you what's big about this, what's huge about this. And thank you, Viktor Postol. Shout out to Viktor Postol for taking the Pepsi Challenge. Because what this does is this. We wanted AB because AB had a name. We wanted AB. But Viktor Postol is even better. Not that he's a bigger name than AB, but what Viktor Postol does is this. Viktor Postol's been in the ring with Terrence Crawford. Viktor Postol's been in the ring with Jose Ramirez. Yes, Viktor Postol is with Top Rank. See what I'm saying? Viktor Postol is with Top Rank. But he took the Pepsi Challenge. Yes. Because if my man pulls this off, especially if he's become the first person to stop Viktor Postol, you speak on it. Speak on it.
That's gonna be huge. That's gonna be huge. I didn't know he was trying to get the Broner fight, huh?
Well, we tried to get Broner. We tried Broner. You know what I mean? Broner looked like he gonna try Conor Ben. We'll get to that later. I don't know what made him pick that, but Broner looked like he gonna go overseas and try Conor Ben. But what I'm saying is this is huge. DMV, Viktor Postol, February 26th against, yes, and let's say it again. And is he fighting a top-ranked fighter? This is huge. Because if he pulls this off, he's now a full-blown player in that 140-pound mix. And this is what we always wanted. You know what I'm saying? So what you think about Viktor Postol versus Gary Antuanne Russell, first and foremost? Everybody in the comment section, what y'all think?
That's going to be a good fight. That should be a wonderful fight.
It's big, bro.
Yeah. Russell should do him. I think. Yeah, I can see Russell probably stopping him in the later rounds.
That's big. That's a statement.
That's not no title fight. So this was a 10-round fight, right?
Probably, but again, you got to look at this. Viktor Postol is a former world champion.
Oh yeah,
he's a former world champion. He beat Lucas Maltese, went 12 rounds with Terrence Bud Crawford. Yeah. This is big
experience. But I could see Antuanne tearing that body up.
Listen,
But the only thing though, if it was a 12-round fight, I don't know. I might change my decision, bro. If that's a 10-round fight,
we take it any way we can get it.
He had to get in there about at least had to get him out of there about 8, 9. I don't want no decisions. Hey. 22. I don't want no more decisions.
Okay, you don't want no more scorecards.
No more. No, we ain't leaving. Clearly, we see a lot of motherfuckers ain't seeing the same fight.
Which fight you being specific about?
I mean, we look at the Gary Russell fight.
You thought Gary pulled it off? I tell you, hold on. Let me ask a comment. Let me pose a question to the comment section. Who y'all think won the fight? What was your scorecards? Who did you score for? If you scored for Magsayo, that's fine. But who did you give the fight to? You know what I mean? Who did you score the fight to? And what was your scorecard if you want to put it up there? Go ahead. Now, go ahead, Basement.
And listen to this. We had one judge had it a draw. The other 2 judges, 1 round decided that fight, bro. 1 round decided that fight. Both judges who had something to do with that, he said Gary lost by 2 rounds.
Vern, I'll send you the link if you want. As a matter of fact, I'll put the link in the comment section for whoever want to pop on. Keep going. So
both judges had him winning the 12th round. So 1 round decided, man. And I don't see where I only see a draw, bro. I only see a draw.
I'm gonna say it like this.
I only see a draw.
It's a couple rounds late in the fight. It's hard to give him the girl because he just didn't throw that many punches in those rounds.
It's hard to give it to dude when he being a.
I get that,
but he's missing. He's missing.
I get that, but
been hitting.
Listen, we know Gary's hurt. We know his shoulder's hurt, so we know why he's not firing. We know why he's not firing.
Go to the numbers. Go to the numbers.
Go to what numbers?
Go to punch count and everything, right?
You don't want because the punch count was wide margins.
Listen, even though Gary punch count wasn't up there, he's percentage wise, he still did. He almost did better than this guy on the percentage wise.
You know that's my guy, right? You know that's my dude.
Yeah.
You know that's my dude. That's my guy. That is my guy.
Look what James said. He said 115 to 113. Right.
That's 7 rounds to 5.
Right. 1 round. Yeah. Just 1 round decided that on 2 judges' card. The other judge had it a draw. Oh, he said he agreed with James too. Vernon said he agreed with James 7 to 5. And then another thing,
this boxing.
I got a problem with a champion losing a belt.
Go ahead.
It just had to have been a draw, bro. I couldn't see it no other way. A draw.
You can't see it no other way.
Yeah, yeah, man, because the guy he tried to apply some pressure, bro. He was a lot of that shit was missing, bro. A lot of that shit was missing. Man, it was just a stripping guy. That's why I say, bro, I wish Gary would have never fought him, bro. I wish he would have just sit up here and said he was hurt, did whatever he had to do, get fixed, and get back in. You feel me? That's what I wish.
Here's the thing, man. Like I said to many people, for what I said earlier, a fighter's reason for taking a fight or going through a fight, you never know the life of a fighter. We don't know. Like I said, I know outside of the ring, he had a ton of stuff going on. When I'm telling you, he had a ton of stuff going on. Boxing at this moment could be his therapy. He didn't want to just sit around. He didn't want to go through surgery. He wanted to be in the ring. You know what I mean? And he really believed what he say. When he say he want to be a warrior and go out the way he go out, that's really him. That's how he really is. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to question his reasons for doing anything. You know what I mean? I'm not going to question his reason for doing anything. Of course, I want my man in the ring 100%. Of course, I want him to be everything he's supposed to be. But I'm not going to question why he did or didn't do nothing. Hashtag run it back. You hear me?
Hashtag nope, run it back.
Run it back, man. Run that thing back. There's the link in there. Let me see. I agree with Basement. The champion used to have to be knocked out. I think he would win a rematch. So do I. Had he had been able to jab, would have outlanded and made his opponent miss even more. Facts. There, see, somebody with me. Hashtag running back. You see James, man. That's my man right there, man. Basement Boxman Talk. Boxing in DC is in the building, man. I see y'all in here boxing in DC. And the link right there is in the comment section for whoever want to tap in and chop it up with us. We supposed to have a couple other guests on here, but as you know, the show must go on. Now, while we got y'all here, you know what I mean? Gary will run that back. Gary Antuanne Russell versus Viktor Postol, February 26th. Listen, just when I was down about Gary Jr., which I'm gonna lie, I was proud of Gary Jr. Saturday night. So I'm not hanging my head over that. I know my guy be back, and he did show what he could do in the ring, and many people are, respect him for that. But I'm ecstatic at the fact that young bro Gary Antuanne Russell gets a step up in a major fight versus Viktor Postol. What y'all think about that? Talk to me, Vernon, y'all. Yeah. Which one? Which one Russell's tough? Which one? Talking about Junior for going through with the wrist name. But what you think about Twan versus Viktor Postol? Because that's a big fight, y'all. That's major. And it's in Vegas. And it's in Vegas. And it's a top-ranked PBC production. Viktor Postol, for those that don't know about Viktor Postol, he beat Lucas Maltese years ago for his belt. And he lost that belt to Terrence Crawford. Then he also he went the distance with Jose Ramirez right before Jose Ramirez fought Josh Taylor. So Viktor Postol ain't just anybody. You know what I mean? And a couple of them people that was coming up to 140 decided they didn't want to take the Viktor Postol challenge. Well, this kind of what happened. Gary Antuanne Russell, very accomplished Olympian from the area, but regarded as a very dangerous fighter and a very dangerous opponent. So a lot of those up and coming fighters out there didn't want to fight Gary Antuanne, and also a lot of people that's coming up through the ranks, that's sliding through 140, they didn't want Viktor Postol. So this is big, man. This is big. A win over Postol is a fight that moves. Yes, we are here. He beats Viktor Postol. What that means, a win over Viktor Postol for Gary Antuanne Russell means nobody can come to 147 and go around him. He's here. He's a fixture. You know what I mean? That's Teofimo. The goal is to get to Josh Taylor. But let's build to that. Let's build our way to Josh. Let's build our way to Josh. You know what I mean? That means Montana Love. That means Montana Love, Teofimo Lopez. All them young fighters coming up to 147, you gotta come see him now. There ain't no just sliding past him to get to any other fight. He's gonna be a roadblock to the top of 147 now, man. And going down February 26th, man. I'm gonna request all work. I'm gonna work that fight. Yeah, it's 140 pounds. They both 140. They both 140 pounders. They are both 140 pounders. You know what I mean? That's huge. You know what I mean? That's huge. And like I say, with that, you got to come in the ring focused. You're going to have to be 100% focused because Viktor Postol is a tough piece of work. Viktor Postol is a tough piece of work. Viktor Postol is not a fight that you got to take lightly. He got to come in there, stay composed, keep his mind, stick. And like I said, I think he can beat him either way. I think he can outbox him. And like I said, the one caveat, the sweetest thing about Gary Antuanne Russell is he can flat out crack. He can flat out punch. He can box. You know what I mean? He has basically, I'm not gonna say the exact same skill level of his older brother, but he has a lot of the traits in terms of the head movement, hand speed, skill, all that. He has all that. But then is that he has that great eraser. He has that great eraser. So, like I said, this is a big step up, man. I'm excited, man. I think all of y'all know how I feel about Gary Antuanne. So now he got his big shot, and then soon Gary Antonio will be in the mix too. But like I said, everybody finna DMV, you know what I mean? We have nothing to be ashamed of, man. Gary Jr. went out there, he put it all on the line, injured and all. I think we all know what the outcome would have been if he wasn't injured. But like I said, he fought like a true champion. That's all it is. That's all we can ask for. And nothing to be ashamed of. Hashtag run it back. In other news, Shakur Stevenson is set to fight Oscar Valdez. That fight also is set. Like so, boxing, man. Boxing is in a beautiful place, man. We have a nice little. Everybody was complaining, but we got a nice little buffet coming up with some extras that might slide in there. You never know. We got some extras that might get slid in there. You know, we don't know who Canelo gonna fight just yet. We got Ugas and oh, definitely. Valdez is getting whipped. Now, let me ask you something. Now, everybody told me I was wrong for this. But let me ask you something. Do you think he got that Valdez fight all of a sudden because of the lawsuit because of that lawsuit? What you think? You know what I'm saying? What you think, man? You think he got that because of the Terrence Crawford lawsuit? You think that Bob said, you know what, I can't afford to lose Shakur too? You know what I mean? I think so, man. Everybody said I'm reaching. I don't think I'm reaching, man. I think he definitely did. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? What y'all think? What y'all think? Oh, VAR, FYI, for your information. What does that mean, though? What is VAR? What does that mean, VAR, for my information? You lost me there. Break that down for me. You know what I mean? Are you saying you think Oscar Valdez is going to beat Shakur? Is that what you're saying? I mean, I'm lost there. What y'all think about everybody in the comment section? What you think about Viktor Postol fighting Gary Antuanne Russell? And what you think about Shakur Stevenson versus Oscar Valdez? What's your predictions? What you think will happen in those fights? You know what I mean? You know, as we figure out, you know, at the rest we first. Partially because he had been ducking. Now Shakur said duck season is over. Yes. Yeah. Shakur has been asking for that fight for a while. He said, I've ruled Barber differently. I think he acts in the interest, which is getting fighter the biggest money fights. The jury ain't out on that one, James. But it looked like Bob is turning. I mean, at the same time, y'all, we got to realize Bob is 90 years old. So, you know, it may be time. Bob might have to be like Jerry Jones. It might be time to turn over the keys to the young execs in your group and let them drive the car. You just relax and you know, continue to collect the the thing that you get from the perks of the business. You know what I mean? But yeah, I got my man Shakur. Yeah. I mean, listen, out of all of the young up and coming fighters that came out of that group, I think I like Shakur Stevenson the best. I've always said that. I just something about him, you know, his ring IQ, his everything he brings to the table. I just like, you know what I mean? Of course, he may not got a lot of pop, but it's the way he positions his punches and throws his punches that sets him apart to me from some of them. Now, I mean, I think to be honest, somewhere down the road, the comments are not on this thread. I don't know how that could be. You know, Facebook be doing their own thing sometimes, James. You know what I mean? I don't know. Sometimes they be doing their own thing. I go to one of the other lives to see if I can see the other comments. You know what I mean? But what was I saying? I think eventually down the line, meaning after a few things happen, I think the biggest fight we're going to get out of that group, out of that 135 group that we're going to come to find, or whichever way they'll be when they do it, the biggest fight we're going to get eventually is going to be Shakur Stevenson versus Tank. Down the line, no time soon. I'm just putting that in the atmosphere. Eventually, the mega fight that's going to come out of that crop is going to be Shakur and Tank. I think they're going to be the last two standing. You know what I mean? Out of Ryan Garcia, out of Devin, out of everybody we got out there. When the dust settles, and everybody's at one weight, the mega fight that's going to come out of that is going to be Shakur and Tank. It's inevitable. You know what I mean? I think when the dust settles, you know what I mean? Speaking of Devin Haney, I think we need to figure out what's going to happen between we got to figure out which way Kambosos is going. And I'm going to say this right now. I'm on record. Y'all seen my comments, but so I'm going to stand on what I stand for. If Eddie Hearn can't get Devin Haney that fight, he got to leave the zone. No excuses. Tank is the best. I only wish Floyd would let him fight the best. Well, we got to see how that play out because, like I said, he got to look. Like I said, all these guys. See, the sweet thing about what's going on, what we already got set, and what we need. We know the other fighters that's in the pipeline going down the stretch. That's going to fight this year. You know what I mean? So we already got Ugas and Earl. We already got Valdez and Shakur. We already got Gary Antuanne and Viktor Postol. And so we know later on. Oh, my fault. Man, how could I forget this? Charlo and Castano too. Man, so like I said, we got a lot going on. And then we know later on in the year, we still got to get Tank in the ring. Kambosos got to pick between Loma and Devin Haney. Maybe Ryan Garcia come back and fight somebody. He's supposed to be coming back to fight Tevin Farm. I think he didn't want to take the pit bull challenge. You know what I mean? So like I said, it's plenty of fights coming up. But like I said, as the dust settles in that particular group, Shakur and Tank gonna be the mega fight. Tell me what I know. I'm telling you, we're gonna come back to this live. We're gonna remember this. Shakur and Tank will be the fight at the end. I think when it's all said and done, it's going to be them. I just hope they don't over-marinate everything in that division, and it's 3 years from now. But I think that Charlo will pull ahead in this fight. Yeah, I got Charlo stopping. I got Charlo stopping Castano this time. I got him finish the job this time. I think for some odd reason. I don't know. He the first Charlo fight, he kind of reminded me of how he fought against Tony Harrison the first time. It was like, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? It's like, what are you doing? Like, why are you, like you caught him, and then you didn't, I don't know, man. Charlo just was off. He was off. Just like he was the first Tony Harrison fight. But the second fight, he came with that look in his eye, like I'm gonna get this dude out of here. And I think he's gonna do the same thing with Castano. I think he definitely got what it takes to stop Castano. But don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. Castano may lay around and shock the world too. So Castano, Charlo too. That's gonna be a great fight. So like I said, we already got a great slate. I love Charlo, but he lost that fight. That fight right there, I can see. Of course, he has a top level opponent in front of him. Absolutely. I kind of was cool with the draw. In that fight right there. I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't think it would have been fair to take the win from Castano because he definitely did enough to win the fight. But I don't think Castano did enough to rightfully take that title, the undisputed, that night. You know what I mean? It was just too much on the line for it not to be a draw. Because I'm saying in an undisputed fight, I need a definitive win. I need a definitive winner. And like I said, just saying, okay, if I'm going to give it to somebody, I would have gave it to him. Cool. But that's not enough for undisputed. I needed a definitive win, and to me, he just didn't do it. I mean, Castaño just didn't do enough to say it was a clear win. That's me. And Charlo did enough just to say, all right, it could be a draw. You know what I'm saying? So run it back. You know what I mean? Run it back. And that right there is that's where champions are built. That's where legends are born. You know what I mean? I felt it was a clear win than the first Harrison fight. I didn't think, to be honest with you, I didn't think Harrison won that fight. I didn't think Harrison won that first fight. I think he did the same thing. Look, this is what it's okay. I mean, fighters come out. To me, when a fighter come out, you get a little lead. That's fine. But then at some point in time, if the fight goes on, when the champion responds, you got to show that you really want to take this person's belt. That trying to survive stuff just to get through the fight. I'm not giving you nobody belt when the champion is literally chasing you through the ring on the back end of the fight. That's just me. You know what I mean? If you want somebody titled, now I'm sorry, y'all. I'm not one of those that say you got to knock somebody out to get their belt. That's not me. You know what I mean? But you have to go after the title. You can't coast to take somebody's title. And the champion's coming after you. You got to man up. You got to man up. You got to do what champions do. You got to show me, hey, man, I'm here. I want it. You know what I mean? Because it's a once-in-a-lifetime situation. You may never get a title shot ever again. You got to leave it all in the ring. So I don't think Tony Harrison did that. I don't think Castaño did that. However, Charlo did for some odd reason. He put himself in that predicament. But one thing he is the king of doing is making them adjustments. And I'm pretty sure when he come in that ring and in a few weeks from now, he's gonna come for the kill. You know what I'm saying? He gonna come for the kill. So, but the thing is, now if Castaño can weather the storm again, hey. But that's what it is, though. You know what I mean? Every round belongs to the winner of the round. Win the most and you win. The champ should have no edge in the scoring. I get that, but in the course of a round, right? In the course of a round, I'm talking about the fighters that get in the ring and we in the championship rounds of the fight, and versus trying to win the round, they're trying to steal the round. No, go get it. Fighting. I ain't saying you gotta go toe to toe, but you got to commit to the fight. You know what I mean? You got to commit to the fight. You can't hug your way to the title. You can't run your way to the title. You got to fight your way to the title. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying in terms of how it should play out. You know what I mean? When I see you literally trying to just make it to the finish line, I'm not gonna give you nobody belt when you're doing that. You know what I mean? That's not what champions do. We don't want them type of champions. You know what I mean? We want those committed to the cause. So, in review, for those that just coming in and tapping in right now, like I said, what we saying is we all agree Gary Russell Jr. should have won the fight. We wish he wouldn't have fought with the injury, but we don't know what his reasons is, so we're gonna respect and support that. But at the same time, #running back. We want to see the rematch. We got a rematch coming up with Castaño and Charlo. Gary Antuanne Russell got a fight coming up with Viktor Postol. That's big news, DMV. That's big news. And then also what other fight did we talk about? Shakur and Valdez. So like I said, man, boxing in a good place. Boxing is a good place. We got a good stuff going on. Hopefully Canelo will slide in Charlo. We might get a Canelo and Charlo fight. Maybe that'll happen. Joe Smith, Burby, or something like that. Yeah, we got a lot of stuff going on. Boxing is good. So there's a lot of fights that still can be made. You know what I mean? And hopefully, Gary Jr. don't need surgery. We can get that rematch with Magsayo sooner than later. By the spring. Let's get it again. Run it back. Run it back. Run it back. Run it back. You know what I'm saying? What else y'all got going on today, man? What y'all think about all that, man? The lineup that we got going on. We got to find, I think Boots will be in the ring soon. And, somebody made a suggestion, man. Maybe Bud Crawford should just wait. He shouldn't fight a fight in between. He should just wait to see who wins between wait to see who wins between Ugas and Spence, and fight and go right there to the undisputed. You know what I mean? In which I think, honestly, I think Earl's gonna stop Ugas. I think Earl's gonna stop Ugas. I mean, credit to Ugas. He earned his ticket to the dance. He good fighter. All of that. I just think that everything about him is all wrong for Earl. I think Earl is just so all wrong for him. You know what I mean? I think Earl will be able to outbox him from the outside, and I believe when Earl put the pressure on him as the fight goes on, he can walk him down. Oh, for that fight too. Well, you know what? I'm gonna be honest with you, James. I'm glad you reminded me of that one right there. I ain't gonna lie to y'all, man. I ain't looking forward to that fight. Of course, being a boxing head, I'm gonna watch it. I'm not looking forward to Thurman versus Mario Barrios. Nah, I'm just not. I mean, just something about that fight just don't do it for me. But okay, it's good to see Keith back. You know, it's good to see. Yeah, he ain't won a fight in about 3 years. He ain't won a meaningful fight in 4 or 5 years. But hey, man, let's see. Now I'm gonna say this Keith last dance. No, I'm not. You know what I mean? I'm not. You try to put me on the fence, James, but I ain't mad at you. Nah, I'm not. No. We all know that ain't no pay-per-view fight. I ain't gonna lie. The reasons behind why they making some of these fights pay-per-view, I don't know. I don't know if it's Fox. I don't know if it's really PBC. It's a lot going on behind the scenes with a lot of these fighters, because nowadays, all of a sudden, all of these fighters are making these demands. They're making these big demands. I'm worth this. I'm worth that. You know, Keith fought one pay-per-view fight with Manny Pacquiao, so I believe he's probably the one driving up the cost of the fight, because he believes he's a pay-per-view star. You know what I'm saying? He believes he's a pay-per-view star. So I mean, that may be the reason the price going up. I don't know, but this is definitely not a pay-per-view fight. That card is not a pay-per-view card. I'm sorry. None of the fights I did jump out at you. In the old days, we'd be lucky to be on you. It ain't that bad. It ain't that bad a fight now. You can make HBO or Showtime, or maybe Fox 5, but it ain't pay-per-view. But I ain't gonna put it on. You know what? You know what, man? You might be right though, because it did used to be some good fights on Tuesday night fights too. Tuesday night fights had some good fights. Yes, it did. I ain't gonna lie, they did have a couple good night fights. Hey, Carlton, did you rate the fight? Versus Lucas. Lucas took a fight on 10 days. The 20th flight and stuck it there. I'm 37 years old. I gave it to Lucas, not a draw. I gotta look at it again. I believe that's the fight where they had a questionable knockdown or something, right? You know what I mean? Because see, the fight the other night, I had to watch the fight from work, so I gotta watch these fights on my phone while I'm doing my job. So I kind of gotta watch. I gotta watch the undercards at a glance. So I gotta go back and look at that one again. But I believe, ain't that the fight that they had like something happened with it? It shouldn't have been a draw. Yes. See. Yeah. Okay. I knew I wouldn't see. Even at a glance, I pick up on stuff. So okay, so it was a knockdown. It should have been called a knockdown, but it didn't call it a knockdown. Something like that. And I think that would have gave the guy the W. Yeah, so I'm with you on that. I don't know, man. I think Vegas. I think Vegas or one of them other places they do right. Okay. Right. They need an instant replay for boxing. They need an instant replay for boxing. You know what I mean? Or find a way to instill that, because that's sad. You know what I mean? For a fighter to go, cause see, now let me tell y'all something about these 12-day notices and things like that. They put that out there to kind of add a caveat to the fight. Even when they showed the video of the ref, he denied it and it was a knockdown. Oh my God. Well, even with that, you know what I mean? Guess some people, they're gonna go down with the shit. But here's the thing with the 12-day notice and stuff like that. What happens is this: when a fight is set, right? They call another fighter and say, "Hey, man, get in the gym, be on standby just in case." You know what I mean? You may fight somebody. You might fight somebody on this card. You might fight somebody on that card. But go ahead and start getting ready because you might get a call. So even though he may have got the call 12 days to know who he's fighting, but he was in training for a fight. See what I'm saying? They don't just bring nobody that wasn't in the gym. You know what I mean? Ref was embarrassed, didn't want to own it. Yeah, that's bad. That's bad for the sport. You know what I mean? That's bad for all sports. You know what I mean? I know refs always messing up sports. But yeah, that's and I don't know. I wouldn't want to be one either. But yeah. Okay, so that's I thought that was the fight where the guy it was a knockdown, should have been a knockdown. But like I said, that's terrible. You need an instant replay for that, man, because look, man, these guys put in a lot of work. And for that guy, this could be a chance of a lifetime. You know what I mean? This could be an opportunity for him to do some things differently in his career and his life. Because like I said, man, it don't matter how many losses you got. It don't matter how bad a fight you is. All it takes is that one night. That one night and that one fight could change your life forever. So and we can't have people messing up people's, So that's like sometimes when y'all see fighters get a bad decision, y'all see them crying. They might be like, that grown man in the ring crying, bro. I feel them. Because you don't know what that person went through to get to that point. You know what I mean? You put your life on the line. You could literally lose your life in the ring. But not just that, you put the things you want to do in your life in that fight, and then you do what you got to do to get the W, and they take it from you. That's the worst. That's the worst. Now, some of these bigger name fighters who built themselves up, they got the same sacrifice. But once you done built yourself up, you know what I mean? They play the business game. Sometimes they be in the ring. Well, man, I got my couple mil. I don't mind if I lose. I'm gonna get another fight. Oh, James, what y'all was talking about? I seen these articles. Now, all of a sudden, Eddie Hearn wants to put Dirk Shakur in the ring with Deontay Wilder, and Bob Arum wants to put Jared Big Baby Anderson in the ring with Deontay Wilder. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think Dirk Shakur is too long in the tooth to be getting in the ring with a Wilder right now, and I don't think Big Baby is ready. I get it. Everybody think Wilder fool right now because he took those losses to Fury. But let's be clear about something though. One thing I did see in Wilder, which people can say what they want to say. Oh, he ain't for nobody, for a bunch of tomatoes. They can say what they want to say. A man pummeled that man to bits. And he did everything he could do to make sure that man got back in front of him. You know what I'm saying? And when he got back in there, he left it all in the ring. He left it all there. You know what I mean? And that's a big bear that was barreling down on him and crushing him and leaning on him. He did what he had to do to get that dub. I mean, not to get the dub, but he did what he did. He left it all in the ring, man. So if he has any ounce of that left, he knocks Dirk Shakur in the next November, and he's going to hurt that young boy. That young boy, listen, I like Big Baby. I think he got skills, but he ain't been in there with nothing like that yet. Get that man some other fights. Get him some step-up fights before you put him in with a Wilder. Just because you think Wilder ain't got skills, that great eraser is real. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing, though. But the thing is, two things he got. Not just, he got power. The power is real. That great eraser is real. But he got heart. People say, you can say what you want to say. Oh, he ain't this, he ain't that. Look, man. The mindset it takes for somebody to you got beat up by somebody, banged up, pummeled, eardrum bleeding, had to go to hospital. The mindset and the will it takes, I don't care if they say, oh, in his mind, he thought the man cheated. Don't matter. He know that man beat him up. Whether he thought that man cheated, beat him up, whether he thought that man did it through illegal, he knows the man that I'm trying to get back in the ring across from me beat me up. and he went back out there. That's heart. That's all heart. You can't teach that. You can't buy it. You can't go to the store and say, "Look, give me that." And aisle 10. He meant that. So he got heart and he got that great eraser. And if you're not 6'9" with a bunch of head movement and whatever else Tyson Fury may got in him, he ain't nobody you want to play with. That ain't nobody you take no up the combo. That ain't nobody you take somebody that's almost at the end of their career or pretty much should have been at the end of their career. Doug Shakur career should be over. His career should be over. Big Baby's career just beginning. And Deontay Wilder is not the type of person that he should be fighting as a step-up fight. You're going to get that young boy hurt. You know what I'm saying? Just think about it. Even Big Baby found a way, even that young boy found a way to win. The fact that Wilder could land, with Wilder, all it takes is one punch. You know what I'm saying? And it ain't just that, and this is the thing. To be honest with y'all, Tyson Fury, even though he won those fights, may never be the same. He said that. He said in an interview, it's an interview in the UK. Hearn also talked about Shakur fighting Wilder. I mean, also talked about Shakur fighting Wilder. He's trying to get this. Yeah. But Tyson Fury said in a UK interview, he said that, man. He said, look, man, fighting Deontay Wilder took years off his life. You know what I mean? So even in winning, the damage he took in those fights could come into play later on down the road in his career. You know what I mean? Them like, I mean, I know you heard me say it before, but like I said, he hit that man so hard, the fat rolls in his body started fluttering. You know what I mean? So that's some different stuff, man. That, I mean, we don't know the damage that stuff did to him deep down in his body and everything. So yeah, you know what I mean? So that there. You know what I mean? What else y'all got, man? What else y'all got? Boxing talks, because you know I only got a few more minutes because we got the NFL talks coming up at 4:30, and we got to switch. I got to switch studios, switch everything. You know what I mean? But as we do this every Monday at 3 p.m. You know what I mean? And we only got two more weeks for the NFL talks anyway, so then we be strictly boxing again. But you know, as we always do, appreciate y'all tapping in with me. What else y'all got though? Remember, like I said, we're gonna go through it again. We're gonna salute to Gary Russell. Congratulations to Magsayo. All we ask for you is you run it back. You get if Magsayo, you keep your respect from us if you run it back. You keep your respect if you run it back. You don't run it back, you meet. Oh yeah. Clarissa. Oh man, I'm so glad you said that. Clarissa Shields is back soon. But before we get to Clarissa Shields, major fight in women's boxing coming up. Didn't hear your take on Russell injury. You came in late, but okay. The take on the injury is this, bro. Real quick. Hold on, let me get to this. Clarissa Shields will be back soon defending her title, and then she's promised that she's going to fight Savannah Marshall in the UK after that. You know what I mean? Which is, for those that don't know, Savannah Marshall is the girl that beat Clarissa Shields in the amateurs, and they've been running with that over in the UK ever since. So that's a big fight that's coming up, you know, later in the year. But the major fight in women's boxing is Amanda Serrano, who y'all seen on the Jake Paul undercard, if y'all seen that card, versus Katie Taylor, the #1 women's fighter in the sport. That is a major fight that's coming up too. So yeah, women's boxing got some good to see. Look, I watch all. Not too many people in here talk about women's boxing, but I watch all their fights. I watch all the fights, man. You know, I watch all of them. Katie Taylor, Amanda Serrano, Alicia Baumgartner, Jessica McCaskill, Carissa, Franchon Cruz. I watch them all, man. Raquel Miller, I watch them all. You know, Chantel Calderon, Ebony Bridges. You know, I watch them all, man. Now, back to Gary Russell injury. It's clear that he had an injury before the fight. He had a tear in his shoulder before the fight started, but he really, I think the third round, he tore it completely. So he definitely was fighting with some sort of torn or ripped labrum you know, and then had a little bit of damage going on in the what's that part of the shoulder? I can't even think of it. You know what I'm saying? You watch women's boxing too? You watch women's boxing too? But yeah, but like I said though, look, his reasons for taking the fight and going through the fight, man, I'm not gonna question because like I said, he had a lot going on. And like I said, when people got a lot going on in their life, personal, man, sometimes what you do is therapeutic. You know what I mean? Like if say you are an artist, I'm okay. As an artist, at times when I was going through a lot of stuff in the life, man, sometimes, man, the only thing I had is to step on that stage. And when you step on that stage, like just for that period of time, everything goes away. You know what I mean? So boxing is his therapy. Boxing is his sanctuary. Boxing is what he do. So maybe he just took the fight because he just wanted to just let some things be still in his life. So I'm not going to question that. Hashtag run it back. You know what I mean? Couple things whole women boxing. They need 3-minute rounds of 12. What? Man, listen, here's the crazy thing about that. On Instagram, I talk to them all the time. Like a lot of the women's boxers, we talk on Instagram. As soon as I can get them over here, I'm gonna get them over here. See, of course, like with everything, there's so many sites now. We got Clubhouse. Speaking of that, y'all check us out on Clubhouse. Check us out on Twitter. We on Instagram, YouTube. Because when we not here, you know, we be in all kinds of chats, groups. And so it's always stuff going on. So check us out on Twitter and that. But like I said, I talk to these fighters all the time. Women fighters, I'm talking about. And I mean, but we talk all the time. I'm just trying to get them on here so we can talk about some of them things because I agree, man. It's a tragedy that them women only got to fight 2 minute 10. Look, man, I don't know about Twitch. I mean, I'm just now getting the Clubhouse, man. You know what I mean? Y'all know I'm old, man. I can't keep up with everything. At some point, I'm be like, man, I'm on social media out, man. It's too many sites. But I just go to them to keep up. You know, I think I got to go to TikTok too. But they do need 3-minute rounds. They do need 3-minute rounds. That's a tragedy. They need 10-minute. They need 3-minute rounds, and they need 12 rounds. If it's like the old days when they wouldn't let women run marathons because they said their bodies would break down. Yeah, it's terrible. It's terrible. It is. It's terrible. It's too. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna say what I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna tell them. They're gonna get mad when I talk about this, but here's the thing. One, if them women can get in a cage and choke each other out and break each other's arms and all that, these women can fight 3-minute rounds and they can fight 12 rounds. That's another thing. Another thing that they mad about now, Jake. This is one thing y'all gotta give Jake Paul. Y'all can hate. We can hate Jake Paul, not like Jake Paul. But one thing Jake Paul did do, he did make it so Amanda Serrano could come to the ring against Katie Taylor and get $1 million check. He did that. He did that. Regardless, we say, "Oh man, that ain't boxing. He trash, whatever." He did that. So shout out to Jake Paul for taking interest in her like that. But at the same time, these women need to get away from these men promoters if they don't want to pay. It's enough women millionaires in this world. It's enough women millionaires in this world that they can put their own, that they can start promoting their own fights from their own culture. You know what I mean? And make and put it together the way they want to do it. You know what I mean? I don't mind them. I don't mind being on cold fights, you know, men and women on cards. But if you're not getting what you need to get out of it, then y'all should be able to come together. Like, I mean, I ain't saying Oprah, but I'm just saying people of that status. It's women out there, and it's some powerful women out there. Come together, put together your own stuff, make your own money. Stop doing that. You know what I mean? It's not like it's impossible. Am I saying something that's crazy? It's not like it's impossible. You got enough women millionaires. If you put it like this, if y'all could put together a movement, if y'all could come together and put together a movement to bring down all these powerful men in Hollywood, y'all could put together some stuff in boxing where y'all can make your own millions. That's just me. And I'm not trying to make light. I'm not trying to make light or excuse or say anything about the stuff that these other women went through in those cases. I'm not making light of that. I'm just saying if you're powerful enough to do that, you're powerful enough to do business. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. Because I like women's boxing. You know what I mean? The thing that make women's boxing so unique. No, it's a lot of women fighters. It's a truckload of them. It's a truckload. It's a lot of them. That's the thing. It's hard for them to get the exposure. You know what I mean? It's hard to get the exposure. We know most of them because we see them on different cards and different like that, but it's a ton of them. It's a lot. There's a lot of women fighters out there. A lot. You know what I mean? Like every time you look at it, like, oh man, where'd she come from? Oh, I mean, it's a lot. And make it so bad, they be some good fights. Because they fight so hard because they, you know, just like boxing used to be back in the day. When the hunger is there, because you're not getting the notoriety and the pay that you want. When that hunger is there, the harder you fight. See, some of these fights, where these fighters are just comfortable. They're just comfortable because the hunger not there. I got a couple mil. I can go fight this tomato can. He ain't gonna push me. I ain't gonna push it. That's what some of boxing has come to because they know I can get a following on social media. Come on, man. A novice just with the social media from YouTube and all that, and now he's making millions. Jake Paul made more than most of the people in boxing and everybody in MMA. Now she has the problem. Now that there you go. You right there. Certain weight classes are not as populated as others. See them bigger weight classes, like the ones Clarissa and them are in, it ain't that many people up there. Because frankly, the women ain't that big. You know what I mean? That's in shape in boxing. It ain't that many 160 pounds, 168 pounds, 175 pound women in boxing. Now, up there is not that much, but down in them 115, 118, 130, 135, oh my God, it's loaded. The weight classes is loaded, and I'm talking about not just loaded, I'm talking about then can go. They can't do no Super 6. They got to do a Super 10 in some of them weight classes in women's boxing, man. Yeah. And I'm talking about it be some good fights. Good fights. So like Michaela Mayer and Alicia Baumgartner, that's a future major fight. Should happen this year. Not at the beginning of the year, but in back half of this year. So in women's boxing, let's go. Katie Taylor versus Amanda Serrano. Right now, that's the biggest fight. But I do believe it may not be the best fight of the year by the end of the year, but right now that's the biggest fight in women's boxing. But by the end of the year, if pumping up the 3-minute round will make the sport grow fast, that too. And they got to find different ways, and they got to get other people promoting. And I think adding other women from other networks will make it bigger too. Because I honestly feel that they can blow this thing up, man. If Jake Paul could do what he did, they can. And I'm not hating on Jake Paul. I'm not one of those. I don't have a problem with Jake Paul. I don't have a problem with Jake Paul's doing at all. So I'm using him as an example, but I'm not using this like to throw shade at Jake Paul because I don't have a problem with what Jake Paul doing. I'm not gonna hate a man because he do what he can. If anything, that should make what that should do is light a fire in a lot of people out there that say, hey man, I got to get this up to par. You know what I mean? Boxers, fighters. Hey man, some of us out here that's doing this media thing. Hey man, more people get to see you, more people get to hear you, more people get to fall in love with you. We're your best friend because boxing don't get the exposure on regular sports shows like it used to. You know what I mean? They only talk about certain fights on ESPN First Take. They only talk about certain fights on Undisputed. If you ain't one of them main fighters with a mainstream name, you don't get the you know what I mean? You don't get they don't talk about you on those shows. And they never talk about women's boxing. They may talk about this Katie Taylor, Amanda Serrano fight. They might. Because that's a major fight for women's boxing. You know, you got the number one ranked pound for pound boxer in the world in Katie Taylor, but then you have I think she a 7-time world champion, 4 or 5 weight classes in Amanda Serrano. So yeah, it's major. She like the man. Nah, yeah. Even though I'm not going to compare to no man. She's definitely the most decorated fighter in the sport, Amanda Serrano. And then later on that year, we should get Clarissa Shields and Savannah Marshall. That'll be big. They probably do that to be in the UK. That'll be major. And then, like I said, Michaela Mayer and Alicia Baumgartner. Look out for that one. And that one should be a dandy. That one should be an absolute dandy. We got some good stuff coming on. We got some good stuff coming up, man. Boxing is good. Boxing is good. Boxing is good. You know. But man, y'all making me feel good today, man. I'm gonna cancel the NFL show. I'm gonna cancel the NFL show, man. Boxing Talks. We do this every Monday at 3 p.m. Boxing. Do NFL Talks, NFL Talks. He should step aside. Now, if he does, now think about this. Now you're saying something, because that may be what Eddie Hearn up to. Because right now, the public will still pay. Right now, the public will still pay for Joshua Wilder. That fight will still sell out in the UK, and people will still tune in to watch that fight. Even though he's gonna knock Joshua's head off. But people will still pay to see it, because there's going to be a ton of people over there. See, the UK has zero respect for Wilder. They think everybody over there can beat him. They don't think Joshua, they don't think Wilder can beat nobody. They don't think he can beat Dylan White. They don't think he can beat Joshua. They don't think he can beat anybody over there. They will actually probably think Shakur could beat him. But it'd be smart for for Joshua's career, he's not going to beat Usyk in that rematch. He's not. He's not going to be Usyk in that rematch. He just can't. That Usyk's IQ, Usyk's ability to box is just too much for him. You know what I mean? What the boxing people pay to see, he better not. He better not come in there. He better not. Listen. He's going to get a fight in boxing. It better not be against no Tyson Fury. But he's going to get a fight in boxing. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if they try to put him in the ring with Jake Paul. You know what I mean? They might put him in the ring with Jake Paul. He's going to come over there. Most of the MMA fighters are looking to come over there because they make millions. Over in the MMA, there may be a few that make a mil here and there, but most of their fights are for a couple $100,000. I would fight Jake Paul too and make a couple million. You know what I mean? So he's coming over. He's coming over because the money. He's going to come over for the money. But unless like I say, he's not going to, no, that's not going to work in the sport of boxing. There's only one fighter in the UK who could be Wilder. He has already met him. Fact. But I think that's why he want him to fight Shakur. See, Eddie not dumb. Because I'm going to tell you something. Eddie knows not getting that Wilder fight when they had it hurt bad. Because you could have broke the bank. With that fight. That's a fight you should not have let slide underneath the radar. Because we're in a position to talk this, we're in a position to do that. You let that fight slide underneath the radar. But he's still trying to get that Wilder fight. He wants that Wilder Joshua fight. So he want to bring him over there. Wilder will go over there. He'll smoke Shakur, knock him in the next November, and then everybody over there will definitely bring him back to see him fight Joshua. They can still get a major payday. Yeah, that's true. He should have fought AJ. That fight should have happened, but it was just so much going on behind the scenes that was just nonsense. I don't blame. Listen, one thing I'm gonna say this about Deontay Wilder. One thing a lot of people don't know about Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder talk crazy, act crazy. He is far from a fool. He's far from one. And actually, what a lot of people don't know is, like I said, I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised if out of those fights he fought, he still got that $100 million that everybody crying about. Because Deontay Wilder got side deals. Deontay Wilder has lucrative business out there. A lot of people don't know Deontay Wilder got contracts with celebrities that he does this. He has a lucrative business where celebrities buy products from him. And he's making money hand over fist doing that. Deontay Wilder got stores all over where he live at. He got stores in New York. He got businesses in the UK. Deontay Wilder is far from a fool, bro. Deontay Wilder has made his bag. At bare minimum, we already know he's made at least $75 to $80 million. That's why I said, and that's without even knowing what he made off the pay-per-views of all those fights. So like I said, if he was already $100-some million, I would not be shocked at all. He's made his money. He's far from a fool. He don't need nothing. But I'm sure if they dangled a $75 million fight in front of him with Joshua in the UK, he'll take it. But those will probably be his last few fights. Deontay Wilder not gonna be in this sport too much longer. He's not gonna be around too much longer. You know what I mean? He's not gonna be around too much longer. So it's gonna take something like him going over there to knock out Shakur, knowing he's gonna get a big fight with Joshua for a big payday to keep him around. But he's not gonna be around too much longer. You know what I mean? He's accomplished what he came to accomplish. You know what I mean? Joshua likely thinks he can handle Wilder. Of course he thinks he can handle Wilder. And here's the funny thing about it. The backstory to that a lot of people didn't know. Because when y'all go to YouTubes and you listen to all these stories, they're going to tell you a story about how Wilder was so scared of Joshua and all that. They're not going to tell you about the two-time Joshua. Deontay Wilder actually got on a plane and flew over to the UK, right? He flew over to the UK. Now, it's a video of him fussing with the guy that played in Creed. His name is Tony Bello. He played in the movie Creed, Pretty Ricky Conley. It's a video of him in an argument with Deontay Wilder. They're going back and forth. That is at an Anthony Joshua fight in press row. You know what I mean? It's a guy over there from the UK named Johnny Nelson. He's a former fighter, but he's also part of the UK media. They would not let Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua interact with each other. Whatever reason you want to make up, these are the facts. Deontay Wilder is standing in press row where Anthony Joshua was supposed to walk through. So Wilder, if he couldn't get the chance to even set up some type of fight, he wanted at least an opportunity to say something to Anthony Joshua, and they wouldn't let him. They blocked him. So instead of just leaving, Wilder started screaming, "Bomb squad, bomb squad, bomb squad." He started screaming that, and Tony Bello heard him, and he felt it was a disrespect. So he ran over there like, "Young, you can't be over here doing that." So that's where that argument come from. That's the backstory to it. If you ever see the clip of Deontay Wilder on YouTube fussing with Tony Bello, that's at an Anthony Joshua fight, and he's fussing because Wilder was mad because they wouldn't let him get to Anthony Joshua. So Lennox Lewis, he almost got in a fight with Billy Joe Saunders in a restaurant. That would have been. Hey, Billy Joe Saunders is funny. Billy Joe Saunders is hilarious. Billy Joe Saunders threw a chicken at them. But what Wilder said they wasn't going to do nothing to Billy. You know what I mean? He said they wasn't going to do nothing to Billy, but Billy just took it too far. That was crazy. I mean, but I give it to Billy Joe, man. Billy Joe called Wilder a racist. And Wilder just was like, man, what's up with that? You can't be putting just anything in the atmosphere, bro. You know what I mean? Because I'm coming over to your country, and I don't want them people thinking I'm a certain way towards them when I'm not. So that's where that triggered from. But Billy Joe Saunders threw a whole chicken. Billy Joe threw a chicken at them people, man. That's crazy, man. Yeah, that was wild. So yeah, like I said, Wilder, he's made several trips to the UK. He made several trips to the UK. You know what I mean? And I think during that time when he was there, the guy they threw a drink. A guy threw a drink on Deontay Wilder. Don't know why he did it. Not the smartest thing he could do. Good thing security was there. But yeah, so that's just the backstory to some of that stuff that went on, man. Like I say, he went over to UK multiple times, man. He tried to make the fight on his own, or try to make the fight happen, and Eddie Hearn just wasn't having it. He wouldn't even let Joshua. They wouldn't even let them boys hold a conversation. That's crazy though. That's the crazy part. You know, they wouldn't let him do it, and then when they come back and they tell the story, well, he was supposed to commentate a Joshua fight. And they was like, he wanted to know, he said, after the fight came in, can I get in the ring and me and Joshua, do a face-off? And they said no. So he said he wasn't going to go. And then everybody said, well, Deontay Wilder's scared. Bro, I've been over there twice. He had been over there twice. What's the use of me coming back just so I can commentate the fight, just so they can escort me off the premises as soon as the fight over? Who does that? You know what I mean? So I say all that to say Eddie Hearn has been protective over Joshua over that fight from the get-go. UK is a great place to fight. Big crowd. They love boxing. That's why you see so many second-tier fighters getting it. Yeah, that's true. That's why Wilder wanted to go. See, Wilder, listen to me. One thing, like I said, that's why I tell everybody when I'm saying these things I'm saying about Wilder now. What I'm saying is this: Wilder always had a business mind to everything he was doing. He knew going over to Wembley Stadium would be his biggest payday. He knew that. But what he wasn't going to do is, you're not going to send me to Wembley Stadium for $15 million. You're not going to send me to Wembley Stadium for $40 million. Because when everybody talk about that $100 million deal, it was a 3-fight $100 million. They're going to give him $20 million for Ortiz, 40 apiece for 2 fights with Anthony Joshua, and that's not smart business. That wasn't a good deal. Why would you pre-sign yes, it's $100 million, but why would you pre-sign a contract for fights you haven't fought yet? Because let's say this, okay, say I take the first fight with Anthony Joshua for $40 million, right? I win the fight. Now I'm the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. $40 million is a discount for undisputed heavyweight championship. But now I'm the champion. We can run it back, but now we're gonna run it back at my price. See, that's the difference. You don't sign a 3-fight deal where I'm already getting paid $40 million, but the fight makes a couple billion. That's not good business. I don't care how you look at it. That's just not good business. Yes, y'all want to see the fight. Yes, we want to see the fight. But as a businessman, y'all can want to see the fight, but I'm not fighting I'm not taking $40 million for a fight. That's $100 million. Plain and simple. You know what I mean? Conor McGregor got $80 million to fight Floyd. And he an MMA fighter with no experience. Why am I fighting the undisputed heavyweight championship of the world for $40 million? Just think about that, y'all. That's all I'm saying. But with that being said, James, I appreciate you. Leo, appreciate you. Vern, appreciate you. Boxing to DC, you are the best boxing group on social media, hands down. Going around. You know what I mean? And till the next time, y'all, it's been a pleasure. It's always a pleasure, man. Tap in. We do this let me get all this stuff out of it. We do this every Monday at 3 p.m. Boxing Talks. Every Monday at 3 p.m. Also, www.itiswritten. I appreciate that, man. I'm trying to get there. I want to be the best one day. I'm trying to get there. You know what I mean? I'm going to keep working at this thing, but most definitely, www.iswrittenforever.com. We are sponsored by Fierce Financial Group and TNT Logistics. You know what I mean? As y'all see all that going across the bottom, you know what I mean? And like I say, man, we do this every Monday at 3. And then also, please follow go to the YouTube page, like and subscribe. Everybody, please, we need those subscriptions. Once we get to those subscriptions and we can do different things, make improvements, make it bigger and better. You know what I mean? This year I will be working more fights. We'll be going on scene with the fights. We're gonna do a whole lot of things to continue to grow in this thing, man. And always want to give you the best content. We got more interviews coming. It's hard working with these fighters, y'all. And it's not taking shots at them, man. Their schedules is so crazy, and it's trying to coordinate our schedules and their schedules. Like I said, I talk to fighters all the time. We talk all the time on Instagram and on Clubhouse and Twitter, but it's just hard coordinate schedules to get these interviews in, man. You know what I mean? But in the meantime, between time, catch y'all in the next one, man. Have a blessed day, man. Everybody hug somebody, tell somebody they the best, show love to each and one another, man. We catch you on the next one. 100.